Hi guys. So I have been putting off making this video because I just didn't want to face the reality. That was my makeup collection. So yeah, but I said I was going to do it, so I'm going to do it. I've got my little sheets with all my information, and yeah, it's a bit scary. Well, for me it is. Now, I know that compared to some people here in the YouTube beauty land, this will seem rather small-ish, but to me it's pretty big, and after doing this it's kind of overwhelming. But anyway, I'll get to it. So I'm going to start nice and easy. It's my makeup wipes because that's the first thing I counted. I was too scared to jump right in, so I'm like, let's start with the wipes. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, so I have one open. I have 3 backups, so that means I have 4 in total. And as far as that kind of stuff, I'm kind of happy with those numbers. I like not having to worry about things like makeup wipes for a while. So that's that. Okay, face primer. I'm not going in any order, by the way. Just whatever was first, and that's what I counted. Face primers, I have 4. That includes 1 sample. And ideally, I'd like to just have 1. Concealers, and I included any brighteners that I might have. I also have 1 pencil concealer and then traditional, so all together I have 6. Ideally, I think I'd like to have 2, you know, 1 for spots and then 1 for under eye, so 2. If I can find a product that will do both, even better. But for now, we'll stick with that. Mascaras, I have 2 that are open. I usually always have 2 because that's my thing. I like to use a volumizing and a lengthening mascara together. So I have 2 open. I have 4 backups. That's 2 full, oh no, 1 full size and then 3 like deluxe sample size mascara. So in all I have 6, and ideally I would just like to have 2. Eyebrow stuff. I have like 1 wax and powder little duo, my e.l.f. one. I have 2 pencils and 2, you know, gel brow setting things. So in total I have 6 brow products. I'd like to pare that down to 2 or at least, or 1 depending on how you look at it, because I really like my e.l.f. Little duo with the wax and the powder more than I like the pencils, and I'm really not liking either of the brow setting gels that I have, so yeah, I guess I'll count it as 2 separate products, but ideally just my little e.l.f. one is fine by me. Face powders. Pressed, I have 4, and no backups for that. Loose, I have 3 and 2 backups, so in total I have 9. Ideally, I would just like to have 1 pressed powder just to keep in my bag and 1 loose for setting my makeup in the morning. That's about it. Oh boy. Bronzers, including cream, loose, and pressed, I have a total of 12. Ideally, I just like to have 2. I'd like to have 1 cream and 1 pressed, because I find that's what I reach for the most, so why am I going to bother with anything else? So that's that. Highlighters. Cream highlighters, I have 1, and pressed I have 8, so 9. ideally I've got 2, and I think that's fine. And probably both of them pressed powder. I tend to use that more than the cream or liquid ones. I just like it better. So yeah, that's highlighters. And the reason I think it's not that I think, the reasons my numbers are high for bronzers and highlighters, and blushes, I think, which is I'm getting to soonish, is because I have little trios that I've got from Hard Candy. I should have brought one to show you, but anyway, I have these little things from Hard Candy which have the 3 in them, like the bronzer, blush, and highlighter in one, and so I'm counting those individually, plus I have one face palette that has blush and bronzer and all that stuff, so I'm counting those individually as well, so that's why these numbers are a little bit higher, because I didn't know where to put them really as a category, so I just divided them up. Okay, so then let's do blushes then. Cream I have 5 and powder I have 22. Insane. So I have 27 blushes. Ideally, I'd like to have 5 and all powder. I'm not a fan of cream or liquid blush, I have found. So, yeah, 5. Oh my gosh. So maybe one day I'll be there. Foundations. Okay, I separated this into like BBs, I just put that in together, full-size foundations, and samples, because I have a whole bunch of those. So, BB creams I have 2, full foundations I have 9. Who needs 9? I don't. And samples I have 4. It's a little tiny tub, so I should be able to get rid of those, you know, fairly quickly. But yeah, in total, so I have 15. Ideally, I'd like to have 2. I'd like to have 1 BB cream and 1 foundation, and that's it. Okay, eyeshadow primers. I have open 3 of them going right now. I have 2 backups, and samples I've got 10. So 15. Ideally, I'd like to have 1. One day. I can hope. Eyeliners. Liquid eyeliners, I have got 6. I've got 5 that are open and 1 backup. Pencil liners, I've got 23 and a backup. What I only just learned how to do eyeliner. I don't know how I have so many. Oh, that's insane. And I have 1 gel liner that is probably going to dry out on me because I'm terrible with gel liner. I can't get the hang of it, but okay. So in total I have 31. Oh Lord. Alright. Palettes. So I included my duos and trios in here. Just because. I didn't really want to do anything separate, so with my large palettes, and I have 1 face palette, duos and trios, all together I have 35. Duos I have 2, trios I have 4, 1 face palette, and then just strictly eyeshadow palettes I have 28. Of the duos, ideally I'd like to be down to 0 because I really don't reach for them. Same with the trios, and my face palette I just got, so I haven't really had a chance to play with it. So that leaves me with 28 of my eyeshadow palettes. Ideally, of my eyeshadow palettes, I'd like to have more. I know what I just said. Yeah. They're my one weakness, and I'm fine with that. I accept it. I own it. It's mine. And if I were to put a number to it, I pick 888 of them because I like the number 8. Will I ever get there? Probably not. Am I gonna try? Anyway, moving right along. Where am I? Oh yes. Single eyeshadows. Oh God. In total I have 36. I have 8 creams, 17 singles. Pressed pigments I have 6, and loose I have 5. Ideally, I would just like to have 10 just pressed single eyeshadows if I can get down to them. Again, I don't really reach for my single shadows. I like using my palettes all the time, so I don't know why I have so many of these. But as far as pressed pigments, loose shadows, and cream shadows, I'd like to be down to 0 on those ones. I'm not a huge fan, so why mess with that? Lip products. Okay. In total, I have 58, and the breakdown is I have 4 lip pencils, I have 4 lip balms, 1 lip crayon because I'm just not fond of them, 1 lip stain, again not fond of the concept, 10 lip glosses. Why I have 10, I have no idea since I hardly ever wear lip gloss, but there it is. And lipsticks, I have 38. So, lip pencils, ideally I'd like to be down to none because actually no, I'd like to be down to 1, just red, because that's the only one I ever remember to use whenever I'm going to wear a red lipstick. I always like using a red lip pencil. So 1 for that. Lip balms, I'd like to just be down to 2, 1 that I can keep at my vanity and 1 in my purse. Lip crayons, none. Stains, none. I don't like them. Lip glosses, 2. There's only 1 that I really, really like, and that's my Hard Candy lip plumping one. And then I just figured another, maybe light pink, something not too opaque that would go with pretty much everything. So that leaves me with 38 lipsticks. And frankly, I like all the colors that I have. I don't think that's incredibly huge. Huge number for makeup collection. And I like and use all the ones that I have. I have no repeats, aside from 1 backup that I have for the one that I'm panning right now, which is my MAC Hug Me. I have a backup for that, but other than that I don't have any duplicates. So for ideal numbers for lipstick, I'm okay where I am, so what I've done for myself is given myself a cap of 40. I cannot go beyond that. So if I want to have any new lipsticks in my collection, I have to use something else up if I'm already at 40. Right now I'm 38, so I have room for 2. Which I probably will get there soon, since I have a couple in order coming to me soon, which I'm excited to show because they're super cute. But anyway, yeah, so I've given myself a cap of 40 for that. I don't think that's unreasonable, is it? I don't know. Finishing setting sprays, I have 1, and I'd like to keep that at 1, so at least that one is on track. And then I just included a couple of other things just because they were on my vanity, so I'm like, oh, okay, throw these in. My eyelash serums, I have 2 that are open right now. I have 2 backups, so obviously 4. ideally I would just like to have two, one in my vanity and one backup. So that's not so bad. I'm almost there. And perfumes, I have 4, which isn't too bad either. I thought I'm not big on perfumes. I really only have one that's an absolute favorite, and the other ones are just ones that I really like. Plus, I want to try some other ones, so I want to get rid of my older perfumes that I have. So ideally, I think I would only like to have 2, because I'd like to have a signature scent, so when my kids grow up and they smell it, they'd be like, oh, that smells like Mom. I know. Oh, what can I do? So anyway, totals, including my palettes, I have 282 products. And ideally, not including my palettes, because you know how I feel about those, I'd like to get down to 94, which is a third of that. So I'm going to be working on that, so that that could be a reality for me, because frankly, I think it's important. I felt, yeah, I felt overwhelmed and almost wasteful to have so much that I'm probably not going to use, so I think I'm going to have to do a declutter and see if I can maybe gift some of these things to people, or maybe give to a women's shelter or something. So I'll have to find a way to pare this down, and then have some that I'm just going to work on for myself so they can get through them. So that is my makeup inventory. That was rough. But I said I was going to do it, so I did. So I hope you enjoyed, learned something maybe. Probably just my unreasonable addiction to make eyeshadow palettes. And yeah, I will see you in my next one. Please comment, rate, subscribe, and I will see you next time. Bye.